So on a day when Prime Minister Modi attended that church service, let me go to a very special guest. I'm joined by Reverend Swarup of the Church of North India. He conducted the prayer ceremony which the Prime Minister attended. Appreciate you joining us. First of all, Reverend, Merry Christmas and season's greetings to you and everyone near and dear to you.
Thank you so much, Rajdeep. Merry Christmas to you and all your viewers as well.
Reverend, you led the prayer service at the church which the Prime Minister attended, the Christmas service. Did you invite the Prime Minister for it, or was it a spontaneous decision from the Prime Minister's office from 7 Lokpal Marg? When did you know that the Prime Minister was going to attend this service?
I think it was both. I mean, it was a spontaneous gesture in the sense that he just wanted to come and pray. And we said, yes, absolutely, he's most welcome to come and be part of our prayer service on Christmas morning. So that is how it was.
Did you get a chance to speak to the Prime Minister, and what did he say to you at the service?
Today, we didn't really speak about anything. He just participated in the entire worship service. He joined us in the morning, sang the carols, and, followed the reading of scriptures, said the liturgical prayers, and enjoyed a couple of Hindi carols which were sung. And then he came up for some silent prayer which he prayed on his own. And then I prayed for him from the high altar for God's blessings on him as he leads our nation.
Reverend, the fact is that while the Prime Minister attending a church service does send out a positive and hopeful message, the truth is in the last week we've had several stories, visuals, videos playing out of Christian congregations ahead of Christmas being targeted by groups of the VHP and the Bajrang Dal in particular. We saw that terrible incident in Jabalpur that we reported, a local BJP leader abusing and assaulting a visually impaired woman. How do you then reconcile the fact that the Prime Minister attends the church service and what we are seeing with Sangh Parivar and other Hindutva activists doing to Christians on the ground?
Rajdeep, I think today is a day of celebration and a day of prayer. For a Prime Minister to come and pray in a church, what better thing could have happened? There are issues. We are not hiding anything under the carpet. They have to be addressed, and they will be addressed at the appropriate time. We will approach the PM when these issues have to be addressed. And many of our colleagues have already been addressing these issues.
You're saying you will address this at the appropriate time. I'm not clear by what is the appropriate time, because year after year, we are seeing the number of attacks actually increasing. In fact, today many bishops, the Archbishop in Kerala, Catholic Bishop Conference of India, President Archbishop Andrews, others have come out strongly and appealed to the Prime Minister to ensure strict enforcement of the law, to provide proactive protection to Christian communities. But nothing seems to change on the ground. So what is this appropriate time? Shouldn't all of this worry you? Shouldn't the Christian leadership now take a much stronger stand? Instead of waiting for an appropriate time, actually say enough is enough?
I think, Rajdeep, today is not the time to raise that issue. If a person comes into the church for prayers, I don't think that is the time to raise these kind of issues with him. So, yes, I completely agree with you that there have been a lot of violence against the Christian community. We are not denying that, and nor are we condoning that. Definitely, we condemn all kinds of violence, and particularly against the Christian community. We condemn that. We don't stand for that, and we will oppose that. And we have been fighting it, particularly through the Alliance for the Defense of Freedom. We have been challenging those things, getting our pastors out from prison and in the courts as well. So whatever recourse is available to us, we are using those avenues.
You're saying Christmas Day is not the appropriate time in a way to raise it with the Prime Minister. I'll play those shots once again of the Prime Minister attending the church service. But with due regard, don't you think the Prime Minister and indeed ministers need to walk the talk to restore the confidence that you and others can have tea with the Prime Minister, bishops can go and meet the Prime Minister, but what happens to the ordinary Christians? The ordinary Christian tribal in a village in Chhattisgarh and Jharkhand is extremely vulnerable. So you are protected in a way, but what about the ordinary Christians? Who's going to stand up for them and speak for them?
Absolutely, I can't agree with you more. And those incidents have also reached the Prime Minister's office from our own colleagues who raised it up. And, things have changed. Some of those things have changed in Chhattisgarh particularly.
But what has changed now? You're saying something has changed, Reverend. I want to understand what has changed, because the fact is that we've continued to see even more intensified targeted attacks. I just look at the numbers. The numbers have gone up of attacks on Christians in the last decade. And a number of those who've converted have said that they feel isolated and ostracized in the village. So what really has changed when you say change is there?
No, I was talking about one particular incident where the PMO's office intervened in terms of those nuns who were arrested. And then the PMO's office intervened and they were released. So that was the issue I was talking about.
But would you shouldn't this become a sustained attempt that anyone who commits these acts is prosecuted and given severe punishment? You want to see much more surely of a climate where Christians don't feel hounded for just practicing their religion or celebrating Christmas.
I can't agree with you more, Rajdeep. We are a free country and the Constitution gives us the right to preach and propagate and practice our faith. So that is a fundamental right that is enshrined in the Constitution. And I don't think anybody can challenge that or take it away from us. So we will stand for that.
So what will you tell those, Father? What will you tell, Father, those who say the Christian leadership needs to do much more in terms of sending out a stronger message to those in power rather than simply courting those in power? Is the Christian leadership intimidated and fearful, as some argue, of those in power, sir?
Rajdeep, I don't think that's the way we need to read that. I think, first of all, relationships need to be built, confidence needs to be restored, and then we can really engage in heart-to-heart issues, raise up some of these core issues which the Christian community is facing. I mean, if we don't reach out, or if he doesn't reach out, I think this is a good gesture on the Prime Minister's part to reach out. And I think this is a step in the right direction. And that, once there is a relationship that is, engaging, then we can raise these issues with him, speak to him as a person whom we know.
My final question, Reverend, what's your message to larger society? Because there will be a number of them who are listening to this show who will say, we've seen Christian pastors being accused of engaging in forcible conversion, inducement, and all of this has created an anti-missionary mindset in the minds of some people. What is your message, therefore, to the wider society, not just Christians, but across the board? What is your message to those who seem to believe that all that Christian missionaries do is engage in conversion?
I think that is a false narrative that has been built over a period of time just to tarnish the image of Christians, that Western money is coming in and we are using foreign funds and that we are converting people. That is far from the truth. That's on one side. If we have been converting people, offering money, why is the percentage of Christians still at 2.3%? I mean, it should have been, much, much more, but that is not happening. Secondly, the other side of the coin is that every person has the right to practice the religion of their choice. The government or anybody cannot tell me which religion I need to practice. That is my free choice. It is my personal choice. And the Constitution enshrines that choice for me. So I don't think a third person should be concerned about the faith I practice or preach or propagate. That is my right.
Reverend Paul Swarup of the Church of North India, for joining me on the show today on this day of Christmas. Once again, Merry Christmas, Reverend. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, Rajdeep, and Merry Christmas to you and to all your viewers. And thank you for talking to me. God bless you.